Hello, and welcome to That's What I'm Trying to Tell You, the podcast where women from different generations sit down to share their unique perspectives on life, current events, and everything in between. So join us as we navigate through topics with laughter, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of authenticity. Okay, so Kat, you found something absolutely wild, and you brought it to our attention. Please explain to our listeners and us about what these findings were.
Well, first it popped up on my Instagram, actually. Well, it popped up on my Instagram on a feed that was critical of this thing. So basically, apparently, there has been some actress influencer. So right there, I'm like side-eyeing this company.
Great.
And she's created a company that created beauty products, face skincare products for essentially toddlers. So we're talking about from age 3 or so up. I mean,
why, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have absolutely zero patience for that kind of crap.
That's crazy. You're not even supposed to put sunscreen on a baby until they're 6 months and over.
Children's skin is perfect.
Right.
Exactly.
They're little angels walking around.
It is perfect the way it is. There's no reason why these products need to exist, and parents need to feel pressured into buying this crap. So there was a backlash against these products.
Good.
And then some of these magazines, and of course this ridiculous woman founder, came out saying like, oh, this is blown out of proportion. There have been products for skincare products for kids for a long time. This isn't a big deal.
What, like diaper rash ointment?
Well,
what are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I'm already upset, let's say, by the marketing of makeup and this sort of thing to preteens, right?
Yeah.
I already think that's a bad idea.
Absolutely.
And then to say, oh, well, those things exist. This is just a little more. What's the big deal? Like, why do we have to go down that slippery slope? Why do we have to lean into something that's ridiculous?
Yeah. Because people will buy it. It will sell.
Yeah.
But I saw something the other day where Northwest, Kim's oldest, has got finger tattoos, on her knuckles, and people are coming for her that because she's 12.
Are they fake or?
No. And people are criticizing her for that.
Well,
she's 12 years old.
I mean, this is, okay.
That's
speaking about her
real
particularly.
12-year-old. Okay.
I've seen photos of her, and this exactly kind of addresses my problem with this whole thing, is she looks like she's 12 going on 22.
Yeah.
And her mother allows her to dress that way. I think Kim's response to people criticizing the way her daughter dresses is like, oh, well, she wants to dress this way. Some of the people who are reacting to the criticism about this children's skincare line says, well, kids are curious and they want to try things. So that's why I've created $6, $12 sheet masks for them to try, and it's safe for their skin. Well, I just have a problem with not letting children be children, and the fact that we seem to be aging children.
That's what I was gonna say, and it's like, where does that start for them? Where did they see it first? On the mom or the cousin, older cousin, or something?
Right. Just because your older cousin puts on makeup, that's not really a reason for you to do it.
No.
I mean, I was told you can't do that till you're a certain age. I wasn't allowed to get my ears pierced, actually, until I was in high school, because my mother said that wasn't appropriate.
You too.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get mine pierced till I was 40, but yeah, you got yours in high school. But I also, another thing that I think it does is it teaches children, I know that their, skincare regimen is to keep your skin looking healthy, but my fear is that it teaches children that you are imperfect in some way.
Right, or that they have to obsess over something like that.
Yeah.
There's no reason why a child under 13, 12 or 13, needs to be doing anything more than washing their face with soap and water.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. When you first said it, that there was this company targeted toward kids and skincare, I immediately thought of the toddlers and tiaras, like John Benet Ramsey, these adults that put their kids in these pageants. Like, that has always been fucking weird to me. What are you sexualizing little girls for?
Right. I mean, that's the thing, is like that part where I feel like we're just making kids be older than they need to be. I'm fine with children's pageants if you want to enter your kid in something and then they have some kind of a talent contest or what have you. I don't get where it starts sliding into, let's put tons of makeup on the kid. That seems really weird to me, because what you're doing is sexualizing these kids, right? You're sexualizing these kids at such a young age.
I blame ancient Greece for this. It just proliferated and it's gone into many different weird avenues in our current culture. Of course, it's the parents doing it, right? You think, of course, the parents are going to say, oh, she likes it. It's fun. This is a bonding experience. But you wanted to put your fucking kid in a princess outfit and parade her on stage for usually grown men to judge. What are you judging on a 6-year-old, 7-year-old?
Right.
They're not even fully mentally developed, let alone
I mean, that's an
physically.
interesting thing when you say, right, the parents' justification is, well, they want to do this. I mean, it's the same thing, like with doing these sheet masks at the age of 3 or something like that. It's like,
how do you know?
Kids, well, also like, yeah, sure, kids like to imitate mommy or whatever, but you know what you could do? You could like give them a dampened paper towel and they could put that on their face. There's no reason why you have to buy something that's $6.
Exactly. Play make-believe.
Right.
That's what we
used
to do.
Exactly. That's
before
what
all
we
of
used
this.
to do.
I have something I'd like to throw out on that note. Jay, you were talking about, there are a couple actresses who have male children and they let them dress however they want. And these kids are young. They wear dresses and...
Well, I know Charlize Theron, now that's her daughter. It was her black son that she adopted when he was, I guess, a baby. And now it's either the kid is non-binary. I have to be very careful about how I use pronouns and stuff. Or it's a trans girl. She is a trans girl now, because there was some kind of article where
How
like,
old is the child?
How old is
I want to say maybe like 15, because the article I saw was like a couple years ago, and they were saying, oh, look at Charlize Theron's daughter, she's so grown up. And I was like, this looks like a tween to me, a girl. I didn't know. I was like, well, did she have a son?
Boy.
Yeah.
She used to be a boy.
She used to be a boy. So now she's a girl.
And she used to let her dress in...
Yeah, and I remember as the kid was growing up, me, a black woman, was like, why is she letting her little black son go out dressed literally in tutus and frolicking? Like, that's very problematic to me on so many levels about how you introduce masculinity, especially to your black son in the Western world, but I won't even go into that. So now I guess it took hold, the dressing up. And that's good. You let your kids express themselves how they want to, but...
Well,
I'll let you guys chime in. Your parents. How do you...
There's another one, too. Another actress.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
Kat.
forget.
I can't...
Well, we know Will and Jada, the whole family's eccentric. Those kids dress...
Right.
The son dresses...
Let people do what they want.
Well, he's got a job as artistic director of some big fashion house.
He has a Nepo baby job now.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So it got him somewhere. But I guess it's very interesting to me thinking about like these kids, because how do I put it? It's become very trendy now as a parent to be, I'm not defining my child's gender, and I'm letting them be free to choose whatever they want. And I guess what it comes down to for me is, how much are parents giving their kids some kind of unspoken signal as to how they want them to be, right? It's sort of like, okay, for Charlize Theron, was her kid really drawn himself to always wanting to wear a tutu, or
we don't know that.
Perhaps,
that's right. We don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, or like, while parents are like, oh, but I'm just letting him express what he wants.
Well, there are a lot of those.
But I guess what I'm saying is, there's sort of in the height of, let's say, wokeism or whatever, right? People got a lot of props as parents for seeming to have children that behaved outside of, let's call it, the norm or whatever, right?
The binary.
Right. Like, people got a lot of props for that. I mean, it's very odd to me in a way, but they did.
And they still are. And we, especially us, we're in the state of California, okay? And we know how people are out here. And I say...
Goosey.
To all of it, I say let them, because we'll never get to the bottom of it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, I have no problem. I actually don't have any problem with boys who want to wear dresses or want to dress up that way or whatever. But I guess what I'm just wondering is like, I'm just wondering a little bit of like, if you have a kid, let's say, and he's like, I like that Disney princess outfit and I want to be that for Halloween. And so you're a modern parent and you're like, sure, cool, whatever you want to wear. So then he wears that. And then I just wonder, are there some parents who are just so
pressured?
Well, I don't know if the word is pressured, but they feel like they want to show everybody how woke they are, that they really lean into that with the kid and they sort of promote the kid, and the kid gets that feeling like, oh, mommy and daddy really like it when I wear a dress. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep doing that. So even if that isn't maybe his normal inclination, he might just sort of really lean into doing that. And I mean, not saying that it's a bad thing, but I guess I'm just wondering, like,
how do you know it's genuine?
How do I know that it's totally, how do you know that it's totally genuine?
Yeah, and my point was going to be, and I say this having no kids, but wanting them one day, but coming from experience as a daughter of a two-parent household, now I realize and feel that it is a parent's job to provide structure in their child's life to a certain extent. It doesn't mean that you're a controlling, crazy, authoritarian kind of parent, but you're there to guide and mold a child, sort of, so that they are not taken aback by the challenges of life that come up as you're just going through life, right? So when you take kind of a hands-off approach to me, hands-off in the way like you're the cool parent, and I'll put that in air quotes, like, oh, whatever, yeah, like the parents who are like, yeah, you can drink at the house, like, no problem, like that. To me, that you just let the floodgates open, like, for just debauchery to creep in their later years, and then you might have a kid who looks back, maybe lived a harder life because they didn't have that kind of structure and parent. And I'm not talking about like every kid has to grow up in a two-parent household where everybody's married and it's a nuclear family. No, I'm just talking about having parental figures in a kid's life.
Well, who set limits?
Set limits and like, curfew. Like if you were the kind of parent who was like, yeah, stay out till whatever on a school night and just, be back and go to school, I probably would be a completely different person. I wasn't that kind of person anyway.
Because there are a lot.
But I'd probably be fucking wild.
There are a lot of people now who would argue with you. In fact, I have a friend who shall remain nameless, who worked for a high-profile Hollywood industry couple, and they let their children, this particular friend has a regimented diet, healthy diet, and those children were given the option to eat whatever their Hollywood, say that in air quotes, their Hollywood lifestyle was like, well, we just let them choose what they want. Although the parents were eating like a keto, the healthiest way, but they let the kids choose what they wanted to get. And they were 6, 7 at the time. And I don't even want to tell you who they are, but they're high profile, and they turned out, they're pretty wild, So we're saying this, we could go round and round on this. People who do that, let them, they're going to do what they want because they're going to come back at us. We have a certain opinion about how we would raise children, and they'll say, well, I just wanted to give them a chance to exercise their right and opinion to live the way they want to live.
You can still do that and provide structure and guidance to a child too. That's what I had.
Yeah.
You never told me that I had to be a certain person or act a certain way or dress a certain way. You just kind of gently made suggestions alongside. If I said I wanted to go left, you said, okay, yeah, you can go left, but here are all the benefits maybe that you can't see of going right. That's all I'm saying. Like I guess I'll just say, and because of that, I never had an interest in, trying out drugs or doing partying or doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing underage that could have gotten me in a lot of trouble. So, I don't know if that's a conservative call it what you want.
Yeah.
But I'll just say I'm grateful for the way I was raised, and it having structure, having wisdom from a parent or someone older, an elder, is always welcome to me. And, if we don't stop at toddlers having face masks and skincare lines, are we going to start seeing like toddler facelifts in the future?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And also, well, I just want to say too that, kids talk even when they're in second or third grade. And I mean, I don't really want my, grandchild, I should say, maybe at this point, to have to deal with the stress of somebody saying, oh, well, your skin isn't as nice as my skin because your mommy won't buy you these special masks for it or something. I mean, it's like kids don't need to have that kind of ridiculous pressure put on them, or they don't need to be focused on the physical.
No.
It's like there's skin care. They just need to learn how to clean themselves. I mean, maybe, they ought to start with that, because God knows do you know from when you were working in that pediatric practice, there's a lot of kids coming in with all kinds of weird diseases and infections because
soap and water would handle.
Never taught to clean themselves. So,
Right.
Parents, maybe you ought to start with teaching your kid good hygiene and not worry about buying expensive creams and masks and stuff for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let's just raise that up. I'm going to end this on a higher note, but I came home the other day and I told Jazz that people are starting to smell again. I said it. And since COVID,
Let it be known.
Everybody was washing their hands and scrubbing up to their elbows, washing their ass and all this stuff. And now it's slowly creeping back.
Mm-mm.
Soap and water, people.
Let that be your New Year's resolution.
Yes.
Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please follow, comment, and reach out on our socials. Also, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you resonated with anything in the episode, be it products or topics, make sure to check the show notes for additional information, or shoot us an email if you like. See you next time.